welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. If you're not seeing it on a Monday, it just means that this is the day you were supposed to be getting this message. So definitely listen in. I've got some really good information for you. If you're new here to the channel, my name is Heather Ness. I am a certified intuitive. I have studied under one of the world's greatest numerologists. So I really love everything in sort of the metaphysical spiritual world, and that's what this channel is all about. It's about spirituality, it's about numerology, it's about getting to know yourself on the deepest level. And our Monday videos are all about the numerology of the week and some messages that I have for you. And so if you are new here, I would love it if you joined the family. Just subscribe, click that little button right down there. It really shows me some support. I am a newer channel, and my hope or my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers in the next 90 days, and I can't do it without you, so please help me with that. I'd appreciate it. Now, having said that, it is week number 4. It's a week number 4 this week. It happens to be January 20th. Again, if you're seeing this on a day that isn't January 20th, that just means that the messages that are in this video are meant for you. So when we talk about numerologically, a week that's a 4 energy when it comes to a period of time is really about foundations. It's about looking at the structure of our life and asking ourselves, are we where we want to be? Are we like standing on solid ground? Is there something that we're trying to bring into the world? Meaning, are we looking at establishing maybe a new career, a new business? Are we wanting to bring, have a family? These foundational things in our life, right? Do we have the love that we really want in our life? 4 energy really asks us to look at those foundational aspects of our life. And it really lends the energy of perspective when it comes to clear perspective on what we need to do to move forward. And that's what I really love about a 4 energy. 4 energy is very like leadership type of energy. It is get things done. Let's start having a plan. And because it's the month of January, this was really a month that I wanted to talk about how to manifest, how to bring new things into our life, because this is typically a time of the year we start looking at ourselves and where we're at and where we want to be and start determining where it is we want to go, what it is that we want to bring into our life. So what I love about this energy is it really allows us to have a clear focus. When you're in energy 4, you are a little bit more ready to like buckle down and do the hard things. And I think that that's so supportive when we're trying to manifest stuff. Because when it comes to manifestation, part of that is you've got to start working towards that new thing that you want. You have to open up avenues, new ways to bring in that energy that you didn't have before. And so part of that is by doing the thing, right? And so week 4 really allows you to do that. It really asks you to look at your routines. Are your routines supportive to bring you to the goal that you want, to bring you to the life that you want? If they aren't supportive, if you don't have good routines or good things, support that's set up to build that, it's going to ask you to put some of that in place. And this is such a good week to do that because you're going to have the energy to do it. One of the other things that I got when I looked at when I did my meditation on the week of the energy of the week, I really got this beautiful orange yellow glow. And when you're talking about orange and yellow, obviously yellow is extremely joyful. It's very happy energy. And orange kind of sort of grounds that energy. It's very foundational sort of, I want to say sacral type of energy that really gives you that support. And I really feel that those colors align with the number 4 energy. It is very creative, very optimistic. 4s are creative when it comes to looking at something and seeing a clear road forward to put it into reality. Many times we have beautiful ideas, and if we don't have the grounding energy to put those ideas into action from an idea, sort of playing into the 3D plane of moving forward, then it doesn't really come to life. And what's so beautiful about that 4 energy is it really encapsulates that creative flow when it comes to moving forward on your dreams in a very foundational, grounded way. I I also really, when I was meditating, I got the energy of like this, I got this vision of this beautiful flower. When we're planting, let's just say we're planting a garden, whether it's a fruit garden, a vegetable garden, or just a beautiful flower garden. What we do is we plant the seed into the soil, right? And that seed is sitting there in the darkness. And we water it, and we make sure that, it gets enough sunlight. Hopefully it gets enough sunlight to really sort of nurture that seed, cultivate it to grow, right? And I really feel like this is a week where we are putting it into the ground, putting our thoughts, our desires, our wants, the things we want to manifest. It's like we're putting the seed into the ground. And it sometimes is a little scary because you plant these seeds not knowing if they're going to grow. You water them and ensure that they get enough sunlight, and maybe you put a little fertilizer on them to help them grow. And that really is like the movements forward. It's the things, the small actions that you do to bring that to life. But you do it sort of blindly, not knowing if the seed is going to sprout, right? And what's so beautiful is within a certain period of time, it begins to sprout. And it may not be as beautiful as you thought it was going to be initially, because it's just beginning to grow, right? It's just beginning to sprout out of the ground. It's this little tiny green sprout. And it isn't even, let's say you're creating a garden of fruit or vegetables or even flowers, it hasn't begun to bloom what you really knew it could, right? We put something in the ground, we have an intention of what it's going to become. We already can see it in our mind. We have the intention. When we want to build something or bring something in our life, we also have the intention of what we know it can be. We have the vision. We can see what it's going to look like in the future. But right now, I feel like we're needing to be reminded that we just planted the seeds. It's not going to be sprouted yet, and that's okay. But I want you to continue watering it. I'm really getting the message that we need to continue like watering those seeds that we planted, and knowing in our heart that it's going to sprout, right? It just takes a little time. And in that time, we need to continue watering it. We need to make sure it gets enough sunlight. We need to make sure that we put a little fertilizer on it to give it the nutrients that it needs and wants to grow effectively. But if we do that, it will eventually sprout, which will then eventually grow into this beautiful flower, beautiful fruit, beautiful vegetable, whatever it is, right? That is the vision of what we want, our manifestation. And so the thing I want you to remember is that sometimes we have to just trust that this thing is going to sprout, and we have to put the work in to make sure that we give it the best foundation, the best opportunity to grow and to become what we want it to be. And don't be surprised if all the little seeds that you plant, they all sprout and it makes this amazing, beautiful garden, right? But just know that it takes time. So the message I'm really getting is that this is a week of like really looking at our foundations, putting some work in. It's a week that we're going to feel like we're ready to put some of that work in, which is so beautiful because the 4 energy really supports that energy. And to know that the results may not come right away, but that doesn't mean that it's not working. It doesn't mean that it's not growing under the surface in the dirt, right? It doesn't mean that it's not going to sprout, because it's going to. It truly is. I also got the message that we really need to, watch the things, because there's so much going on right now in the world. I live here in the United States. We have a lot of stuff going on. We have a new president coming in. We have the TikTok ban. We had the fires that burned down a big part of Southern California. I mean, just so much going on that sometimes our nervous system or our like energetic system around us, it can't handle a lot. And even though we want to stay up to date with what's going on in the world, I'm really getting the message that we need to protect our energy. Part of, being able to attract what you want in your life and to ward off the things that you don't is you need to like raise up your vibration. You hear this a lot, just like raising up your energy, your optimism, raising up that level of enthusiasm and optimism and joy and love. All of those wonderful, like happy, sort of like high vibe energy. And sometimes when we have so much going on in the world and we're trying to stay up to date with what's going on, it can dim our light a little. And so I'm really getting the message this week, especially pay attention to what your energy, where your energy is going. And this might be a week that we need to be a little bit selfish with our energy as far as, you know, if it isn't impacting us immediately personally and there isn't something that we can do right now to change it in our own sphere of influence, then maybe we should try to not that we want to be in denial or naive about it, but we don't have to know all the ins and outs. This is really a week where we need to protect our energy, and maybe we don't get on, I don't know, the news or whatever it is, and just kind of have a little bubble of love around ourselves and our own energy and our environment this week. I really feel like it's a week that we really need to protect ourselves energetically, because there's just so much going on, right? Also, I got the message of like an eagle flying above. You know, if you think of a bird, especially a larger bird, they fly very high. They have a very high perspective of what's going on. They're sort of removed, but yet they can see it all. And that's kind of the energy that you want to encompass this week. You want to encompass the energy of like seeing, but not being in it, right? Observing from a higher plane of view or a vantage point, but not being in the middle of it. Because when we're in the middle of things, it's hard for us to see solutions. It's hard for us to protect our energy. It's hard for us to be, objective. But when we remove ourselves from the actual situation and look at it from a much higher perspective, we can see solutions much easier. We can also see where maybe it's just something that I can't change. Therefore, I need to just like remove from my energy field, right? And that's really what this week's asking you to do, is like view things from a much higher perspective. Ask yourself, whether that is media, whether that is, your personal life, whether that is looking at the business that you want to build, try to view it from a higher vantage point so that we're not so like caught up in the emotion of it and more objectively looking at what it is that we're trying to achieve. First of all, it protects our energy when we're above because we're not in it, right? So we're able to have a much higher vibe, optimism, joyfulness, being more, have a little more like perspective. And so that's really what this week is all about. It's about making sure that you're doing those action steps. The energy is going to be supportive of that. It's about making sure that you protect your joy and your happiness. And it's about looking at things from a much higher perspective so that you can really make a plan to move forward. I really hope that you guys have a beautiful week. I appreciate you joining me here in my videos. If you're enjoying my content, I would love it if you subscribed. It really helps support my channel. My goal is to grow to 1,000 subscribers in the next 90 days. So my hope is that I'm there by March, April. And anyways, I just want to send you all a ton of love. I hope you have a beautiful week. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.